Hey, kids.
Sorry, I'm vaping over here.
Oh, you're vaping here?
But
Here's a door. Just
You
get
don't
the hell
vape?
out. I'll do the rest of the show by myself.
not vaping. I'm just
Vaping.
fucking with you.
Commie bastard. Better not be.
Well, yeah, that shit'll kill you.
Yeah, it will. Hey, kids. Welcome to another episode of Love to Hate. I'm Philip Fullman,
And I'm Brandon Luna.
who's not vaping.
No, I'm not.
But he is about to enjoy a fine cigar. And you know what, Brandon? Cigars are nothing but aged tobacco leaves rolled up, lit on fire.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is.
Yep.
Vaping? Who the hell knows?
Nobody knows, and that's the problem.
Nobody knows. So, according to the CDC, there have now been 530 cases
That's a lot.
of lung-related illnesses nationwide as a result of vaping. And there's now a second death in Kansas related to vaping, but nationwide they're saying that a total of 9 people have died of vaping-related illnesses.
Wow.
Now, keep in mind, vaping is,
Not new.
let's say, what, within the last 5 years?
Yeah, but I mean, it's been around longer than a minute.
Yeah, but how many people, and I'm not saying cigarettes are good, I don't like cigarettes. I mean, if you want to smoke them, go for it. But how many people do you hear of getting lung disease that quickly?
No, nobody.
No. And you don't hear about cigar smokers coming down with all these illnesses.
No, most of the cigar smokers last to be like 100 or something. They wind up on that TV show where they talk about the old people.
Yeah, that's true. Well, think about it. Padron Sr. died in his 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Carlos Fuente, Avo Avuzian, Oliva Sr. All these men who worked the tobacco fields, started these cigar brands, have smoked for years, lived into their late 80s and 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have the majority of these patients are males between 18 and 34.
Right.
So-
young cats.
Yeah. So
Premium
this is
cigar possible smokers. I mean, you know, you got a lot of guys there that could be smoking cigars. Instead
that's
of that
true.
shit.
They could.
Yeah.
And they could enjoy something that's natural, has a great flavor to it.
Mm-hmm.
It has a social aspect to it.
Doesn't taste like raspberry pineapple, but
No.
there's some of that too, though.
You could.
There's
we
guys
we
that
would
they make that stuff,
strongly encourage you not to. But
but we'll still smoke with you. You might just have to smoke over there.
yeah, we'll just put you in the separate. We have a special room for guys who smoke those. New York and Michigan have passed bans on fruity and minty e-cigarette flavors. The president's come out saying he wants to ban all vaping product, and it's not just people that are putting weed in their or THC in the vape product. They've also found CBD CBD and nicotine. But one article I read early on said that one of the other ingredients they put in there is vitamin E oil. Now that's basically like fish oil, I think. But
Right.
vitamin E oil, that's good. You want to take that. You want to take a vitamin E pill because that's good for you. But when you swallow the pill, that goes into the bloodstream and you absorb it. When you cut the vaping liquid with it, you have to. That's a liquid. You can't turn that into a vapor unless it's highly heated. So you heat the vitamin E oil, you inhale, you take it into your lungs. You know what happens when that vitamin E oil cools back down?
Turns back into oil.
And now you have it in your lungs.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. So that
Yeah,
can't be good.
That can't be good.
No.
And no one knows what other crap is in there too. That's the deal.
Yeah.
So FDA's been going after cigars pretty hardcore for the past couple of years, and they've kind of rolled vaping into that. And we, as a cigar industry, seem to think that they're trying to couple those things together when they really should separate them, because we have so much more control over what we do on the cigar side of things. It is
Absolutely.
just tobacco, water, maybe a little bit of glue. And then even in the glue is like a fruit pectin. It's natural. So everything that's in these is a natural thing coming from the earth, and it's meant to be consumed by the good Lord Savior who put it here for us, as it were. Vaping is from Mars. It's probably the product of Xeno. It's probably a Tom Cruise product. So don't
There you
vape. You know, it's not natural. It's not it's not being used what it was supposed to be used for, which was to help you aid in stopping cigarette smoking. And I've heard so many stories about all these kids getting into vaping, and what they're doing is they're taking it and making it themselves, and they're putting like the highest concentration of nicotine that you possibly can put in these things, and then selling it to their peers. And what you're basically getting is, okay, well, I would have smoked a pack of cigars, or no, pack of cigars, sorry. That'd be great if you could pack. I'd smoke a pack of cigarettes a day. Instead, I'm going to vape. Yay, I'm not going to have all those bad carcinogens. I'm going to be better about it, and it's going to be great. But what you're essentially doing with all that nicotine is you're smoking essentially 5 or 6 pack of cigarettes a day, and you're highly addicted to nicotine at that
because
point.
you don't know how many how many cigarettes you smoke in a day.
Right.
If you're just sucking on this plastic pin all day, you have no idea how many that is.
Right. And these kids suck on it all day long like a freaking pacifier, and they wonder why they're getting sick, because they're homemade versions of these things that aren't being looked at.
Well,
by
and
the
that's
FDA.
kind of the dangerous part of vaping too, is anybody can make it. There's no real regulation.
Right.
So it kind of goes back to prohibition in the bathtub gin. People were getting sick because you don't know
Right.
where this was made.
Yeah, you're drinking rock gut.
It's better to have a licensed industry where it's, okay, how is this being made? Where's the distillery? Are we poisoning people?
Right.
And if the FDA would take a step back and go, okay, how are they making the cigars? Well, the same way they've made them for 100 years. You know, they're getting tobacco leaves, they're aging them, and they're rolling them up and setting them on fire. Okay, so that's standard across the board. And cigarettes, they don't even put tobacco in anymore, but that's highly regulated by the FDA. But that's not even really a tobacco product.
Right.
I watched a video on that, and they were taking the stem of the leaf. And for those of you who are not cigar smokers, you know, you don't want the stem of the leaf. You devein that. You want
Right.
the soft leafy part. That's what they're putting in the cigarettes. They take the stem, crush them up, add some emulsifier to it, and it becomes like a paste. They roll it out. It looks like a brown fruit roll-up.
Right.
And that is the tobacco that's going into your cigarette.
Yep. It's the cheapest, nastiest stuff you could put in there.
Yeah. And yet they come after us and say we're going after kids, which is complete nonsense.
It's asinine.
And now the smoking age is 21 in Texas, so we've had to just change who we card. But I mean, as a cigar shop, especially, we take it much more seriously, I think, than the guy at the Quick Stop who's
Right.
just like, oh, I don't know, kid looks 18. It's like, no, I'm going to card you and make sure, you're well, not 18 anymore, but that you're 21.
Right.
Because I don't want you coming in here, and I don't want to fine. I don't want somebody coming after me in my livelihood.
Right.
So we're going to make sure that you're 21 years old.
Yep. And a lot of cigar shops I go into nowadays will card people at the door. Like,
Yeah.
hey, you're going to begin here. You got to be 21,
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's that. But that's us pre-policing ourselves, right? Whereas the vape companies are still just trying to make that quick buck because they know the hammer's going to fall sooner than later, and they're trying to get in and get out. And what really it boils down to is it's a lot of people that are being shiesty about things and repackaging things and making them themselves and making them in a way that's not going to be healthy for people. And
People who
unfortunately,
don't
they're
care
taking-
about the public health.
Exactly, yeah. They're caring about the almighty dollar. Gotta get those dollar bills,
Yeah.
and it's hurting people. So
It is arguably the government just trying to get money out of the cigar industry.
Very
I'm
much
not. I'm defending my industry, but I mean, that's the thing. It's, we're going to soak you for money, and if you look at statistics, it's not the same as it is for cigarettes or for the vaping.
right,
It doesn't pan out. The statistics don't show it.
yeah. And see, when the story first started, when the first thing about vaping killing somebody thing came out, it was all very much about the homemade stuff, the stuff that was being repackaged, that wasn't safe, that had the vitamin E. But it's come out after the fact that it's not even just that. It is nicotine. It is CBD. There's other elements there that are causing these things to happen. So there definitely needs to be some policing on that side of things.
And CBD is highly unregulated.
Right, yeah,
Because
absolutely.
there's a shop on every street. It sounds like it has marvelous benefits, but I'm not going to try it because I don't know where the hell it came from.
Right.
It's not like you can go to, Target or your grocery store and get Nature's Made or, something from Bear or Johnson or whoever.
I'm sure that's coming eventually, yeah.
Yeah, and where it's like, okay, just like I put faith in my Advil and my cold medicine to know, okay, this is legit.
Right.
Until you have that in CBD, I wouldn't even try it because it's like this could have been made in some dude's bathtub.
Yeah, we're in the age of snake oil, basically, with
we really
with
are.
the whole vape and CBD thing and THC. So, and there's safe places to get it if you're going to smoke THC vape pens. Go where you can get it legitimately. Go to Colorado, go to California, go to those places where it's legal and get
those
it
places
there.
are pretty legit. Aren't
They're
they?
legit. They're made, by people who know what they're doing. You're not going to get sick smoking that stuff. If you're buying it from some guy off the street or a friend that has it, chances are it's probably not going to be
And
legit.
yeah, that's always been the big
yourself.
push for legalization of all drugs is that you'll know what you're getting.
For the greater good.
So, you're going to know that the cocaine you're snorting is not cut with rat poison.
Right. Did you hear about Mexico trying to legalize cocaine now?
What?
Yeah.
Man.
Legalize it for medicinal use.
All of a sudden, Mexico's going to want to build a wall to keep
the cocaine in.
Yeah. Well, no, yeah, to keep all the all the people out. Like, man, they're coming over here to get our coke.
Right. Cut the shit out of that stuff.
Man, if they'd have done that in the 80s, we'd have lost a lot of yuppies.
Yeah, no kidding.
Patrick Bateman would have just.
We probably wouldn't have the president we have now. So, according to a joint investigation by Wisconsin and Illinois health departments, about 84% of the patients that told doctors they were using THC and e-cigarettes, they reported using 14 different brands of the THC products. Most common one was marketed under the name Dank Vape. So, if you happen to be smoking some THC vape pens and you hear about Dank Vape, I'd probably say to avoid that at all costs right now. They also said that they reported using 13 different brands of nicotine products in a wide range of flavors. So nothing's safe right now. If you are vaping, it is probably in your best interest to stop doing so and find alternate means for your nicotine intake, whether you go back to the patch or, I'd say probably the gum, something like that, or pick up a cigar.
Yeah, which is not a good means of...
Nicotine
it has nicotine
delivery.
in it, but it's not a way to get nicotine into your system.
No, not really. Not really.
No,
There's people that do inhale cigars, but those people,
God,
they are certain.
I've done that on accident. Like if I've coughed or something.
Yeah.
Oh my God, why anybody would inhale? I have no idea.
Yep.
And
people give us crap for these because they say there's enough nicotine in a cigar for 5 pack of cigarettes. Like, yeah, but you're not getting that nicotine.
Yeah, I'm not
in your system.
I'm getting it in my mouth, tasting the flavor of the leaves, and blowing it out.
Right.
That's it. Mm-hmm. It's the same concept as a wine tasting. You don't go to the wine tasting to get drunk. You go to sample the wines to get the flavor, the aroma.
Unless you're Paul Giamatti and you drink the bucket. But
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Not drinking Merlot. And, they taste it and then they spit it in the bucket. It's basically what we do, only we don't have a bucket and it's not a liquid. We're just blowing out smoke, but we're basically doing the same thing. Just like that wine drinker will get a little bit of alcohol from what they taste. We get a little bit of nicotine in the system. Mm-hmm. But you do not smoke cigars to get a nicotine fix.
No, and you're not. It's not an addiction.
Just like you're not drinking that wine to get drunk.
Right, and it's not an addiction like people say cigarettes are. And
no, when
alcohol.
When have you ever woke up in the morning going, "Oh my God, I need my cigar. Oh my God, oh my God"?
Never. I mean, I've gone weeks and months without cigars, and it's not. I'll admit that I don't like it because I'm losing my relaxation time. But I don't have to have it. I don't crave it. I'm not going to go smoke a Black and Mild because that's all I can afford. I'd rather not smoke a Black and Mild. That's the way that works. I'm going to smoke something that's high quality and I'm going to enjoy it. So it's not a need, it's a want. And I think what you run into with people that are addicted to vape pens and cigarettes and all these other tobacco products is it's more of an absolute need because they're addicted to something.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely not. I don't have an addiction to cigars. I don't Jones for them. Like,
they're kind of like Pokemon. I want to collect them all, but that's a different thing. That's more of an
I've seen your
obsessive-
collection. You've done a pretty damn good job.
I gotta tell you this. I opened up my
the big one, the big
cooler.
Herf? Yeah,
and I got a bunch of stuff that's got plume on it in there.
That's what?
Plume.
Really?
Yeah,
Nice.
some stuff from island south of Miami.
Really?
Yeah,
Like 80 miles?
80 miles. Yeah, has some stuff. So
Nice.
I'll have to show those later.
I had one the other day. It's pretty tasty.
Yeah.
But I got some for my birthday that my best friend gave me for my 50th.
I got some.
It was a
Padron.
box of Bolivars.
I got some Padron 1000 series stuff that's got some plume on it.
Nice.
Yeah, that's probably going to be tasty.
Man.
Looking forward to trying it.
For those of you who don't know,
The uneducated masses.
plume is what you see on the leaf. It can be mistaken for mold. There's subtle differences.
Right.
But shows really that the cigar is kind of, would you say, ripened?
Yeah, it's basically the oils rising to the surface and they crystallize, and it's very easy to wipe off. It's not like a spotty like mold is. It's going to look almost like a fur, and it makes the cigars tasty.
Yeah, it means they're like at the peak.
Yeah, it's like when you get a wine that's at its peak. You want to smoke it before it turns.
Right.
So same thing. Smoke it, drink it before it turns.
Nice.
Yeah, it's good stuff. You don't get
See?
plume on vape. You get
No, you
in your
don't.
lungs. You do, and then that's bad.
Yeah. How
But
do you know when it's
when the vape's at
reached
their
its
prime,
peak?
at their peak? Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're in the hospital, that's when you know. I don't know. I mean, this is an epidemic, right? I mean, but
It is. I mean, you got 530 people sick. I mean,
Right.
out of a country this big. I mean, it's
But there's a
small
lot
percentage.
of people
but
vaping. A lot of people. I mean, you see it everywhere. I still see it every day, everywhere I'm at. There's always somebody somewhere vaping.
I'd rather see somebody smoke a cigarette. It just looks less douchey.
It looks less douchey, but it doesn't smell as good. You got to admit, some of that vape kind of smells good. Oh, strawberries. That's nice.
Yeah.
Watermelon.
I
and
guess it
kiwi.
depends on it. If you like sweet candle-like scents or.
Aromatics.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't. I prefer the smell of pipe tobacco. I don't think it's as obnoxious.
So how does pipe tobacco compare to cigars as far as the nicotine delivery system?
Probably about the same because you don't inhale.
Right. Good answer.
It's all about the flavor, And I honestly think, and I believe this about cigarettes too. If cigarettes and cigars smelled like pipes, you wouldn't hear any of this.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
The only reason anybody ever complained and they started researching, and banning cigarette smoke and cigar smoke was because they didn't like the smell. Nobody sat there and said, oh my God, that pipe, that pipe is killing me. Oh, I love the smell of the pipe. Okay, so it's because you don't like the scent that you're offended.
Right.
That was it. That's where, and then they started investigating secondhand smoke. Now there's thirdhand smoke. Did you know about that?
No, what's that?
The table you're using, I sell it at a garage sale. Person brings it into their home who doesn't smoke. Now they can get nicotine off of that, and it's possible to get cancer because there was.
Oh, come on.
I swear to God.
Come on.
Look,
Are you going to lick the table when you get it back to your house?
I don't
How do you get cancer?
I don't
from
know.
that?
It becomes airborne or something.
What the fuck?
I know, man. Everybody.
That's got to be it. That's
Look,
such
dude,
a
we grew up
BS
in the
thing.
70s when there really wasn't what you would call, now I can't even think, emission systems on cars.
Right, right.
Cars belched all sorts of crap into the air.
Yep, there
We're
were
still
seatbelts.
alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
in
So
a dangerous
people have
age,
been
man.
breathing crap for years. Do I want to go work in a coal mine? No. But at the same time, okay, so you're concerned somebody's going to get sick off of, a piece of furniture or a table. It's just ridiculous. And again, I don't know that goes, like we were talking last week about conspiracy theories. I don't think it goes to conspiracy theory necessarily. But I think you can take this minute science and just extrapolate it to the point where it's ridiculous.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where it makes no sense whatsoever.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think the more we do to try and save smoking, the more we're hurting ourselves in a way. Vaping obviously is one of those ways that was supposed to be something that helped people get off of it, and now it's killing people. So, you go back to the basics, man. Go back to what works. Go back to something natural. I don't have a problem with marijuana because it is a natural product. I have a problem with people taking marijuana and bastardizing it and turning it into something else and adding dangerous elements into it and making people sick. You don't see that with cigars. You don't see people making fake cigars. Oh, wait, Cubans.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do. I guess there's that. Son of a bitch.
Yeah, but I mean, even then, how sick are you going to get? It's just going to taste like shit.
Yeah, exactly. And some of those are pretty good.
And I'm with you on the. I feel the same way about pot. It's natural. When you outlaw that, but then you have a whole industry that supports alcohol. It's kind of like, that's a little disingenuous. But what I can really say, because I've never smoked pot, and even if it was legal, I probably wouldn't. I just really hate pot culture. As much as I can enjoy cigar culture,
right? I
really hate pot culture.
But do you think that's changing?
No, it's still. Yeah, no.
You don't think it's changing?
I think
it's changing some. I think there's still. You walk into a head shop, you're going to see pot culture. It's not
just the head shop. It's the people who are the people who just have to smoke pot all day, every day. It's like they're still stoners.
Yeah.
And that's probably the thing I don't like is the stoner culture. Just
the laziness of it all.
Yeah. And like you said, the name. What was it called? Drake, whatever.
Oh,
Dank.
Yeah.
It's always got some weird name, and there's always tie-dye involved somehow, and really shitty music.
Jamaican music. Yeah.
Reggae.
And reggaeton.
Yeah, the music involved with it just doesn't. And I eat like a stoner anyway. I love Doritos, so. But I don't need to be. But
you don't love Doritos and ice cream. That's the difference. That's what.
Fair point.
You want stoner food? Look at the Jack in the Box menu and the Taco Bell menu. The Dorito Loco exists because of stoners. I mean, that's who thinks of that. I'm going to take a Doritos and I'm going to make it into a taco. That's total stoner food.
I don't know. I think you could find somebody. Our buddy Josh.
Yeah.
He could think of that completely just straight.
Yeah.
Like, what if I took this delicious... I mean, think about it. You're eating a Dorito, and it's like a tortilla chip. Like, well, what if this was a tortilla around a taco?
Right.
I think you could be straight and do that.
Yeah.
I support your theory. It is total stoner food. But it's like, I bet you could come up with that.
But even Jack in the Box markets to those people.
Because that's
they had
true. That's true.
After 10 menu. Like 4 things for $4 after 10. When you're good and liquored up and partied out, come see us. It was just, that's all about and all of it was like total stoner food. Like, let's a bacon wrapped taco with a hot dog in it and just weird shit, just all that stuff that like only people who are just like high out of their minds and trying to find something in a fridge that makes food.
Popeyes or somebody is selling a chicken breast between 2 donuts?
I wouldn't doubt that at all. Total stoner food, yeah.
Yeah, there's some weird food out there. I don't know. Like I said, to me, the music and the lifestyle I enjoy, some good jazz, some big band, nice cocktails, a cup of coffee, a fine espresso. That lends itself to cigar culture.
Yeah.
The Grateful Dead, Taco Bell, tie-dye.
Right.
Like, all things I hate. Probably some natural light, maybe. I don't know.
Natural
Well, no,
light.
I guess I don't know if stoners drink as much because they've already got the pot.
Oh, you're talking about the drink.
Yeah.
Okay, natural
yeah,
light.
So I don't know.
Yeah, talking about so Natural Light now is starting to put out a whole bunch of different flavors So they have like the Natural Light Summer Blend, which is like a pineapple grapefruit thing or some bullshit. So they're trying to branch out and make themselves viable again to that culture that drinks the White Claws and whatnot. So
the hell, man.
Yeah, I mean, and really, if we're going to go after anybody, we should be going after vape and we should be going after alcohol, because that, we've done it once before and it didn't work well. But there's so much going on there that's marketed towards children. It's not even funny.
South Park had a great thing on that, where it's like, hey, party, look at this life. So, oh, yeah, I'm meeting chicks. I'm getting laid. We're doing this. We're going to games. We're having a great time. Please drink responsibly.
Right.
Like, everybody you just showed is clearly not drinking responsibly.
Yeah.
They're clearly over the legal limit.
Yep.
And this is what you're showing, but please drink responsibly.
Yep.
What does that mean? Well, they have a designated driver. You ever hear of alcohol poisoning?
Right.
And that's the thing. A lot of kids they'll overdo it. They go off to college and they drink to the point that they're sick and they kill themselves.
Yep. And a lot of that's from, getting challenges and stuff, There's all these kids now doing these different challenges that they come up with that end up like hurting them and shit.
I don't know. I just never took anybody's challenge. Like, okay, you challenged me. Yeah. You stepped up to me. Now I got to step back up or whatever.
Right.
I don't know. I just never cared.
So, this is, how old is Four Lokos? You remember Four Lokos when it came out? It was a big deal.
Vaguely.
It was a brand that was basically kind of like energy drink, but it was a beer that had 12% alcohol. But all the flavors were like totally raspberry lemonade and all this other crazy bullshit. And they were marketing that stuff, completely to kids at the time.
Was Joe Camel marketing to kids?
I think he was.
See, I disagree.
You don't think so?
No.
Why not?
Just because it was a cartoon, I don't think it lent itself to kids.
I think when it went into
because it was still a cigarette. It wasn't like, hey, it's a raspberry chocolate cigarette. It was like, it's still a cigarette.
No, but Joe Camel was a cool looking dude, and he's smoking cigarettes. He was like a camel in a tuxedo. I mean, come on, how cool is that? Who doesn't want to be a camel in a tuxedo?
Okay.
If you put that same camel in a tuxedo with a box of cereal, kids would buy a shit out of that. Camelos, whatever. But they made it in cigarettes, and that's why I think it was marketed towards kids.
I'm going to disagree.
Go for it.
If that was true, you would see a camel on a box of cereal. What animals do we see? A toucan, a pink rabbit.
Yeah. White rabbit.
Is he white rabbit?
White, yeah.
He's a white rabbit. Cute little teddy bear.
A tiger.
You see a tiger, lovely, cute tiger. You see a little frog. You see 3 little midgets.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen a camel. It's a hideous animal.
But
that's not
cool.
like kid
Joe
friendly.
Camel was cool looking. He was cool. He had sunglasses. I'm just saying.
That's still not. It still doesn't work. Like, kids are like, cool. Now, if it was like a teddy bear, like Joe Bear.
If it was the Snuggles guy, the Snuggles bear, just like giggling and smoking cigarettes, then
yeah, like if it's somebody like the Pillsbury Doughboy or the Keebler Elf smoking a cigarette, that would be different. But a camel, it's not an attractive animal that you use for marketing.
Okay, so what about the video you showed me a while back of Fred Flintstone and Barney smoking cigarettes? You don't think that was marketing to kids?
I'm trying to remember the video.
You showed me a black and white video.
That's right.
Of Fred Flintstone and Barney smoking cigarettes.
Yeah, and I think that was an ad that showed
Wilma and and Betty were mowing the yard and stuff, and they got all pissed off at him for taking a smoke break.
Yeah. What? Seeing that I could say, yeah, that's definitely marketing to the kid. But now, not disagreeing, but devil's advocate, that was a primetime show, and it was a version of The Honeymooners.
Right.
But animated, so it lends itself to kids. So, yeah, that I could say.
Right.
But everybody loves Fred and Barney, but a camel... Now, if Dino was smoking a cigarette, yes, that would be marketed towards kids. But a camel... Now, if Diggum, the little guy on the Honey Smacks, or what used to be Sugar Smacks,
Right.
smoking a cigarette, I could see that.
Right. Oh,
Count Chocula.
Sugar, Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Count Chocula smoking a cigarette, drinking
Blueberry.
some Jack Daniels or some
Yep.
MD 2020. Sure. Totally agree with that. But a camel is a hideous animal. I mean, there's a reason you don't see camels in a lot of marketing. It's just like, oh, that's kind of grody. They spit a lot, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, it's just, it's not an attractive animal. I mean, is Budweiser marketing to kids by having the Clydesdales?
Nope, maybe Spuds McKenzie.
Yeah. See, now that is
Cute dog.
That is valid.
Yep.
Who was the other one? Alex from Stroh's.
Yeah.
You remember that one?
No, what was that?
It was a dog, Alex from Stroh's Beer. It was, I think, a golden retriever. He showed up in the Stroh's commercial for the 5 years Stroh's was a beer or whatever.
Right. So now vaping doesn't specifically advertise on television or advertise towards children.
No.
How did that become such a big thing that became something that children want? Because you always hear about these epidemics of like underage kids in middle school and high school smoking these vape pens and stuff and buying them from other older kids. Like, how did that? Was that just something that happened organically? Was that something that happened through media push? What do you think caused that? Because it is an epidemic amongst our young.
Yeah.
Kids underage are getting this stuff at high school. Kids that are freshmen are getting it from seniors, from their brothers that graduated. So it is happening.
I don't know, man, because I mean,
Does that just go back to the original thing of I want to smoke, I want to be cool, but I don't want to smoke cigarettes, I want to smoke vape?
I think there's a lot of that. Because I mean, I'm old enough to remember when kids in high school smoked, and you'd go out to your car, they'd go at the bleachers and hide and smoke because they were the tough kids or the rebel kids. But now this is their form of rebelling.
Right.
They just look like idiots when they do it.
Yeah, it's giant clouds of smoke that they can form into tunnels
in a
and
plastic
stuff.
pen. It's like smoking out of a freaking plastic pipe where you could blow bubbles out of it.
Right.
I'll say, and again, James Dean, cool.
Right.
Vape pen, not cool. And think of it this way, and I was making this comment, wow, man, I'm about to insult a lot of people, but I'm good with it. Classic movies, black and white movies, women always look classy smoking a cigarette.
Right.
Now you see it, flip-flops, cutoffs, probably some form of tank top, and a trailer park or a large truck, and the cigarette just kind of dangles.
Right.
Yeah.
He's not sexy.
Yeah. And there's natural light involved. But yeah, it's like, you don't see women smoking now where they can look classy smoking. It's always just like, ooh, that's rough. That's gone.
Right.
But yeah, you have many women now, Sisters of the Leaf, who are enjoying cigars.
Right.
So there's kind of that classy aspect to it. Cigars are just much classier in general.
They are.
Cigars.
They're also a lot more explosive. Explosive? No,
Been watching Bugs Bunny cartoons?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're a lot more expensive than vape products because you can get into the liquids or whatever for pretty inexpensive. Now, when you get into the carts and or the actual vape operating devices and altering those as they do, they go through and they modify them so that the smoke is more grandiose and you can do all these tricks and crap with it. That's when you get into cost because those things are a couple $100.
People do tricks with.
Oh yeah, there's videos on YouTube of people blowing these vape smoke and like doing these crazy rings and stuff and all this crazy stuff. So yeah, there's that whole culture as well that's kind of born out of vape. So if you look up vape smoke rings on YouTube, there's hundreds and hundreds of videos of kids like popping their throat and like making these perfect circles come out and like machine gun style and all this crazy shit that they're doing, and there's competitions now for it and everything as well. So it's become part of that culture that's formed around the culture of vaping.
It can never be cool.
Yeah.
When you do that, you don't see a guy sitting in a cigar shop just like, trying to.
I blow smoke rings in a cigar shop, but that's just for me.
But that's different. That's a town. I mean, but just. Yeah. Man. Yeah, see, that's you're not going out of your way. You're not being obnoxious with it.
Right.
It's not a competition. We have long ash competitions, but that's not a big deal.
Yeah, true.
That's kind of weird because you guys sit there and smoke with your head up, but
Depends on the cigar, but yeah.
yeah.
The cheaters do that, yeah. Those guys,
true.
they're cheating.
You don't see that with cigarettes or vaping.
No, you definitely don't.
I agree, and I hate to do anything where it would say, "Hey, I'm infringing upon your freedom to," I'm not going to try to save you from yourself. But if there is a product out there that is harmful and you don't know it's harmful, it's no different than going to a restaurant. Actually, there's this place up the street that what was it? The kid had typhoid fever. So if you ate at this burger place up the street, you between the dates of August whatever and whatever
In McKinney?
yeah,
Yeah, I saw that.
you could be exposed potentially to typhoid.
Yeah, I think it ended up getting to one of the schools as well.
See, now that to me, that's a danger because I go there, I expect the food to be clean. I can be eating shitty food, but I expect you not to poison me with it. Mm-hmm. That's my choice. You want to vape? Okay. I don't like it. I think it's stupid. But I'm not going to try to save you from yourself. But at the same time, you got to find out, is that a poisonous product? Is that a safe product to consume? With cigars, we've determined there's nothing in here that's unsafe. So leave us alone and then go regulate the vape industry, but give them a safe product and then let them do whatever they want.
Right.
If they want to smoke it, let them smoke it. Just make sure they're not smoking poison.
Right.
I'm not smoking poison.
Right.
So let me make the decision.
I got that. But at some point, don't you think, and this is why the FDA is doing what they're doing now, that regulation is required for it to continue to be a safe product?
Isn't that what I was just arguing for?
For cigars. You were saying for vape. I'm saying, what about cigars? Because that's a sticking point. That's the company that I work for, Premius.
But don't we know what the ingredients are?
No, we do. But I'm saying for everybody else, and this is really what it's about, right? In order for everyone to feel safe using this product, the FDA thinks there should be regulation. And that's really the sticking point, is that we as a cigar industry, we've been doing it for so long that we're like, we don't need regulation, stay out of our business, but go at vape because they're killing people.
Well, to regulate, to say what ingredient goes in. Okay, tobacco goes in.
Right.
What else? Tobacco. And it's tobacco.
Right.
So what do you need to regulate?
No.
Is my argument there. We need to know what the ingredients are. We just told you it's tobacco leaf, some more tobacco leaves.
Right. So do you think regulation of flavored and infused cigars is okay, or is that a slippery slope?
It is a slippery slope, but obviously I think it needs to be done just to ensure that, again, you're not getting something poisonous.
Right.
But then when they want to lump in cigars with it, that's where I take the exception, because you know what the product is. You know what the ingredient is. The issue with the vape, you don't know what the ingredient is.
So would you be okay if the government came out and said, basically, we're going to ban flavored cigars, because that's what they're trying to do, right? They're trying to get rid of online. They're trying to get rid of flavored. And now, as long as you ban the flavored stuff, leave the rest of the stuff okay and don't regulate.
The argument for the flavored is for the kids.
Right.
That's marketed towards the kids.
And I don't see that it is, because you're not seeing cigars marketing in magazines that kids would read. You're seeing it marketed in adult magazines that are for adults, like Cigar Aficionado and Cigar Snob and all these other magazines that are cigar centric. You're not seeing those ads
that you can't pick up on the newsstand.
Right. You're not seeing those ads for an infused cigar. I won't name names, in Teen Magazine or all these other magazines. That's not being done. So I don't think they're really marketing towards children.
Not at all.
I think that they assume, because it's a flavored product and it's sweet or whatever, that it's being made for that
and there's a big
smoker.
difference between a cigar that is infused or flavored that is 100% tobacco and hand rolled versus a White Owl.
Yeah. Or a Black and Mild, or any other numerous brands out there.
There's a big difference between that.
Yeah. And if you want to be honest about it, that's the product that kids are buying and cutting open and turning into joints or blunts or whatever they call it.
They're not getting them from us. And I think the FDA's own study showed that. They're getting them from... I think they said the biggest offenders were like Walgreens was one of the biggest offenders, selling to underage people. But yeah, you're right. They're getting them at a convenience store.
Right.
They're going in and getting a Slurpee. Not to say it's all 7-Eleven. Mm-hmm. Slurpee's kind of like Q-tips and Kleenex.
Right.
It's the name. You get your Slurpee, you get your Cheetos, you get your Black and Milds or your White Owls. You're not coming in to my store, and I would say you're not going to any store in town, because I know most of the people, and so do you, they will not sell to somebody. They will card them because they're not going to sell to somebody who is under 21 now. Or they would not have sold to anybody under 18.
Right. And I've been in a situation where I worked in a store and someone came in and they were talking about buying flavored cigars and cutting them open and making them into blunts. And my reaction to that was, well, you're going to make yourself sick because this is a tobacco product. It's a leaf that you shouldn't inhale. And you probably need to go buy your Black and Milds or whatever because that's paper. That's not even what this is.
Right.
And there's a reason why you get sick when you inhale a cigar because it is an actual tobacco product. You shouldn't inhale. Versus a cigarette, which is garbage, versus a Black and Mild, which is garbage. That's paper. It's not real. And it's a totally different product. So that part hasn't been looked at either. It's like they're not going to buy an acid and turn it into a blunt because then you're going to inhale that and make yourself sick. It just doesn't happen. It's also a $9, $11, $12 cigar versus I can get 5 of them for $1.
Plus, the way it's constructed, you can't take it apart and reassemble it like you can a Swisher Sweet.
Right.
You cut that open, you're kind of screwed.
Yeah.
You would really have to know what you're doing to get that leaf to unravel.
Right.
So.
Yeah, there's something to be said for that.
Yeah, I don't. It's going to get lumped in because of the White Owl because it's going to be flavored. But no, I don't think the cigar industry markets it towards kids because I don't see any product. Well, I can't say that because some people have started marketing their stuff for convenience stores. But I'll say the majority of what I sell, 99.9% of it, you're not going to see at 7-Eleven. You're not going to see it at Circle K. You're not going to see it at Grab and Go or whatever.
Right, and there is certain companies that do things that could be misconstrued as marketing towards kids. We've seen several things in the past where the packaging looked like a Wonka bar or other things like that. And
or the kid-friendly camel.
Yeah, or the finger trap or whatever. That stuff tends to make me kind of cringe a little bit because I think maybe you're crossing a line that's going to get us in trouble if they happen to look on the wrong day. That's going to be something they can attack.
The original packaging for the Uncle Lee.
Right. Yeah.
I think it was brilliant. I loved it. It was fun, but they would have said, yeah, it's marketing towards kids. Mm-hmm. But your kid's not in my shop.
Right. And he shouldn't be. 21 and over, baby.
Yeah. No. You don't belong here.
Yeah.
Grown-ups only.
Exactly.
Even Nick Jonas.
Right. And he's allowed.
It's 27.
He's a brother of the leaf, man.
His what?
He's a brother of the leaf, man. You got to support him.
Man.
Yeah.
He is. I will not listen to his music.
He's a Jonas brother of the leaf.
Yeah. I won't support his music or his movies or anything like that, but I would certainly sit and have a cigar with him if he was in a shop.
Yeah.
He has the same hobby and passion that I do for cigars. Great. We'll sit and you can tell me what it's like to what's Britney Spears. I don't know how old he is.
I would be heartbroken if he sat down and smelled the cello. Oh yeah, this is going to be good.
Okay, so for those of you listening, we don't really tell people this. We just talk about it and make fun of you behind your back. So as a public service announcement, for those of you who are cigar smokers and you come into a shop, don't go into the humidor, pick up a cigar wrapped in cello, and sniff it. because we will make fun of you. You're not going to smell anything. It's like picking up a package of Twinkies and going, you can't smell anything. You're smelling cellophane. It's nothing.
Yep.
And yes, we will laugh.
And
but
also...
I've never really called anybody out on that in a shop. Like, what are you doing?
Right. And at the same time, don't open the product and then stick it in your nose.
Oh, God.
Because now you've bought that product.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to sniff the end of a cigar, sniff the foot, but don't put the head of it up your nose.
To me, and I told this to someone in a cigar shop the other day, and they laughed, but they agreed. The sticking a cigar in your nose and smelling it is really the equivalent of opening a container of Bluebell and licking it, because it's really about the same, you know.
Mm-hmm. No,
and people are getting arrested for that shit, for licking the Bluebell and putting it back on the shelf. Well, guess what? You're kind of doing the same thing when you're shoving a cigar up your nose and getting your boogers all over it, because now someone else has to put that in their mouth and smoke it.
Almost as bad. I'm going to say just 1 degree separation. Mm-hmm. Licking the cigar using the house cutter.
The worst. Yeah.
Don't put a cigar in your mouth, then put it in a cutter.
Yeah.
If it's a group cut. If it's your cutter, by all means, what the hell, do it. But don't share your germs.
Yep. I had a guy, I did an event semi-recently over in Wichita, Kansas, and the event was we would cut and light cigars for people. And most of these cigars were already pre-cut, so that was fine. But this particular instance, the guy came up and said, I want that one. And I'm like, okay. So I go to pick it up, and it hadn't been cut yet. He's like, oh, no, wait. Don't cut it yet. He takes it, and he goes to town on this thing, sticks it in his mouth, licks it up and down, wets the entire cigar, and then goes, now cut it. And I told him, I'm not putting a cutter near that thing. I hope you have one in your pocket, because you just deep-throated that cigar.
What'd he say?
He's like, well, I've been doing this all my life. This is what you got to do. I'm like, were you born in the Old West days? Like, why do you think? Like, no, that's not necessary now.
Yeah, first of all, it's humidified.
Right.
So you don't need to do that. Second of all, I wouldn't have touched it after he spit all over it. He handed you back a wet cigar.
I didn't touch it.
Was he like offended? Did he understand?
He was probably in his 60s or 70s, somewhere in there. I gave him one of the plastic cutters and said, here, cut it and light it on your own. You're good. You know, gave him a box of matches and he was on his way. But don't do that. Don't do that. I don't care if you saw your grandpa do it. It doesn't need to be done. No. It doesn't need to be done. If you're doing that to a cigar, it's a bad cigar.
No,
you're not keeping your cigars right.
Well, it's like dipping a cigar in cognac or something.
Yeah. It's unnecessary.
Like, all you're doing is making the cigar wet and ruining it and clogging it up. It's like, if you really want to taste the cognac in the cigar, drink the cognac, get that flavor on your tongue, then take a puff of the cigar.
Have you seen the guy on YouTube that marries the flavors?
No.
He'll dip it in the cognac, and then he'll cut it, and then he'll blow the smoke into the cognac and hold the smoke and shake it around. He's like, I'm marrying the flavors, and then he drinks it. I'm like, no, you're making your cognac taste like smoke. That's weird. I'm like, why would you do that? I don't understand.
I don't know where people get these ideas.
I don't know. It's
so
a YouTube thing.
Weird.
They come up with them and they become unique, and then people.
Well,
watch them.
yeah, I mean, maybe you can get a vape that's cognac and smoke flavored.
Dip it in cognac and jam it up so the vitamin E doesn't kill your lungs.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's the way to do it. Hey, kids, if you're vaping, stop now.
Yeah, please
stop
do.
Right now. Put
Don't do it.
Put that vape pen down, because you look like a douche. It's also bad for you. If you guys would like to express your comments or concerns, maybe you have a vaping story to share with us. Brandon, where would they share these stories?
Well, you can go on Podomatic. That's where you listen to the show. Backtrack a little bit there. A little out of practice here. I did okay the last 2 episodes, though.
Hey, man, this is 3 in a row.
Right.
So
Well, you can go to Instagram, messages there on Love to Hate Pod. You can go on Twitter at Love to Hate Pod as well and give us a message there. We'd love for you to go to the Facebook page and like us and comment there as well. If you want to hear the show, we're on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Podomatic, Spreaker, Stitcher, all the places quality podcasts can be heard.
Kids, thanks for joining us for our 3rd week in a row. We will hopefully talk to you soon. You never know.